destination?
All right, man, let's hurry up and get this hunk of carbonite to its owner.
Hey, Captain Oblivious. Boo.
Oh, I didn't see you enter. Lord Barris didn't need to send a welcoming party.
Obviously, Lord Barris feels otherwise.
My men and I have performed much more dangerous duties for Lord Barris. The prisoner is frozen in carbonite, so he's not a flight risk. And this is friendly territory. Surely we're safe here.
There is no such thing as friendly territory.
No offense, my lord. That brand of paranoia may work for Lord Barris, but I don't subscribe to it.
It's unfortunate, but we must humor the old man.
Glad to find another sensible being here. Let's get this oversized block of ice to your master.
Not so fast. My master ordered that block of ice, so step away from the carbonite man and no one ends up in a grave.
Your name, now.
My name is of little importance. I'm here to relieve you of your burden. Whether that includes your own lives as well is up to you.
Looky. If it ain't SWTOR, your master be wanting the froze man too, huh? Too bad for you. It mine.
You two know each other.
To know Tumar is to hate Tumar.
That go true for you too, SWTOR. If you don't flee, this be like killing two stone with one bird.
I'm such a fool. I'll never doubt Lord Barris again. What do we do?
These gents look reasonable. We'll reason with them.
Tumar and his mates can't even spell reasonable.
All me gotta be able to spell is kill. K-Y-Y-Y-L.
Did you come here to chat or fight?
I know you're Sith, stranger, but I think your bravado is ill-advised.
He got ideas, SWTOR. How about we play wishbone with the talker? Bigger half get the spoils.
A truce, then. You stood a chance against one set of us Sith, but even a master Force user can't beat these odds.
I'm going to kill you and eat you all raw.
Eat me? Be here right. This Sith say he eat me.
Yes, I heard that as well. Do you really mean to eat us if you kill us?
And then pick my teeth with your bones.
I don't know about my brutish counterpart, but my men and I yield. I don't get paid enough to fight a monster. I take my leave of you, Sith.
Me not want to be breakfast either. We leave, boys.
A wise choice, both of you.
It's a day of firsts, then. A merciful Sith, and Tumar being called wise.
Oh, that true. What it mean, wise?
I'll explain it to you later, brute.
Well done. I can't believe they bought a bluff like that. They really thought you'd beat them.
Violence is not always the answer.
You're much more versatile than the average Sith, my lord. My men and I had better be getting this cargo to Darth Barris. Thanks for your help.
Langlin informed me of the ambush at the cargo port. Apparently there are more eyes on us than even I thought. I have felt a disturbance in the Force. It leaves doom imprinted on my dreams. A grave and mysterious threat that could bring down my entire power base. This frozen man is a top Republic agent captured while investigating my most deeply embedded spy on SWTOR. One of my invisibles. The Force grants me a vision of doom. And immediately, my untraceable spy, who has left no footprints, no trail, is almost exposed. It makes me furious.
It could just be a coincidence, Master.
It is not coincidence. I can feel it. I must learn what tipped off the Republic agent. He is the key to uncovering the nature of this threat. Now, while I thaw the prisoner and painfully siphon every morsel of information I can from him, I have some concerns that require your special talents.
I'd like to stay and watch the torture, my lord.
Yuck. Please, no.
You can watch me torture the next prisoner. Go to the Imperial post in the jungles outside the city. Commander Pritch is stationed there. He has a seek and destroy task for you.
What will I be seeking and destroying?
Do not needlessly tax me. Commander Pritch will supply all the details. I must tend to the torturing of this miserable Republic agent. Waste no time. I have more for you to do once this is complete. You are dismissed.
Exactly as reported. A Degree 6 revolt, population equivalent to the Duros uprising on Zilior. Subjects occupy a moderate radius of jungle. Good. Good. Welcome, apprentice. Your timing couldn't be better. I am Lord Drow. When the Empire encounters resistance on its conquered worlds, they call me. I'm here to end the slave uprising on Dromund Kaas.
Welcome to the Imperial capital, my lord.
Just the right tone of obedience. You'll be an excellent asset here. Situation is this. A Sith Lord was constructing a colossal statue of himself in the jungle. His slaves revolted and armed themselves. The Colossus remains unfinished, and well-armed slaves now control the jungle. An embarrassment for the Empire, but an opportunity for me.
Sounds like the perfect opportunity to thin the slave population.
Slave deaths will be a byproduct of my plan, but not the focus. I'm testing a toxic weapon, a poison called Quell. Its victims experience a prolonged state of agonizing pain before finally dying. The victims' allies are so horrified by Quell's effects, they lose their wills to resist. At least that's what I intend to prove.
That is deeply disturbing.
That's one of the things I love best about it. I need someone to introduce a controlled amount of Quell into the slave's water supply, so that I can determine the proper dosage. Work is dangerous, there will be armed slaves everywhere, but your success will be well rewarded. What do you say?
I prefer to deal death more directly to my opponents.
My methods extend well beyond the lightsaber's reach, my friend. Expand your horizons. My assistant, Sergeant Slarity, will recommend the correct dosage of Quell and give you a supply. See him at the research tent.
If I know Lord Drow's tastes, which unfortunately I do, he sent you for the quell toxin.
Are you implying something, Sergeant?
My superior appreciates a particular sort of talent, that's all. What if I told you this experiment is pointless? That past studies have shown increased suffering has no impact on the speed of surrender. This has nothing to do with accelerating the end of a rebellion. Lord Drow simply takes perverse thrill in gratuitous suffering.
I'm sure Lord Drow wouldn't appreciate these comments.
Don't get me wrong, Lord Drow is very good at what he does, but he lets his personal bents impede our efficiency. I want this assignment over with. The faster this rebellion ends, the faster I'll be reassigned to more important work. Serving Lord Drow's bloodlust has stunted my career. If not for his inefficiency, I'd be a captain by now.
You'd still just be a meaningless Imperial drone.
Perhaps, but a better paid Imperial drone, with more authority. Lord Drow's dosage of quell toxin will have slaves writhing in agony for pointless weeks, during which this area will remain volatile. I've prepared a dose that will kill the slaves efficiently, which is better for the Empire and for me. Will you deliver my dosage instead?
Let's end this revolt efficiently and kill off these renegades.
Wonderful. It's the right thing for everyone. Well, almost everyone. I'll give you a maximum dose of quell toxin. Inject it into the slave camp's water filtration systems and see Lord Drow afterward.
I don't understand why it didn't work. I was meticulous with my measurements. Those slaves must be more fragile than I thought. The quell you put in their water supply is killing them outright.
It pains me to hear that.
It's simply infuriating. All that careful planning for nothing. All my research is now useless. Oh well. You did as I asked, and your payment was not contingent on the results. Here, take your credits and go. I have a great deal of thinking to do.
Require medical attention. Be well.
My lord? Look at them out there. They're like animals. Hundreds of slaves with no one to command them and without a thought in their minds as to what to do with their freedom. Like I said, the slaves are animals. But we've noticed strange behavior in the pack. And my superiors want to know more. Some of the slaves are killing each other. We don't know if they're mad or hungry, desperate, or if there's a faction of slaves who've turned on the rest.
I can see how a slave civil war would prove useful.
Exactly what the higher-ups are saying. That the killers could potentially be manipulated. We know that the killings are ritualistic. The murderous slaves come in the night, stab their foes and paint themselves in blood. If you could investigate, catch them in the act and take them down, maybe you could find a clue to their motives.
I'll return when I've discovered more.
Look for any slave who's turned on his peers. With luck, he'll lead us to answers.
Commander Pritch at your service, my lord. Lord Barris informed me you'd be paying us a visit. I'm prepared to offer full assistance.
Aren't you a good little soldier?
Lord Barris has always found me so, Lord. Permit me to update you on the situation here. There's been much unrest in these parts recently, my lord, capped off by a violent slave revolt that has the surrounding jungles overrun with armed slaves.
Then they're not slaves anymore, are they?
I stand corrected, my lord. Former slaves. What no one knows is that Lord Barris orchestrated the insurgents to disrupt one of his rivals, and he wants his involvement kept secret. Now the slave captains who led the revolt are threatening to expose Barris's involvement unless they receive more potent weapons.
Slaves. They're never satisfied.
Having been a slave for a period of time, I'd say that's an understatement.
I think they know better than to blackmail a Sith Lord. Lord Barris wants you to kill enough of the blackmailing slave captains to make the others lose their resolve.
Violence is not always the answer.
Well, I suppose. Many of these slave captains are former criminals with ties to the underworld. In fact, some have been selling their fellow slaves to the black market. If their followers found out, they'd be furious. If I had proof that they're selling their own people back into slavery, I could blackmail the slave captains to stop blackmailing Lord Barris.
Blackmailing blackmailers. Sounds poetic.
I bet they keep records of their transactions. If you rifle the slave captains' footlockers and find proof, I'll do what I can to use it against them.
It's worth a try.
However you want to deal with it, my lord. The slave captains have their home base around the unfinished Colossus. I'll await any proof you salvage from the slave captains' belongings.
Hey,
my lord, right? Not sure about my propers with you folks. Seeing as how you're already killing slaves and causing a fuss, how'd you like to make a pile of credits?
Can't have too many credits.
That's what I like to hear. Let me give you the lowdown. So Darth Valron is on the Dark Council, and his apprentice Lord Ket wants to advance, so he starts building a giant statue to his master. But Lord Ket doesn't want his master to know, so he brings in slaves from off-world. Slaves rebel, and we get this mess.
The Slave Rebellion I'm familiar with, though I didn't know the specifics.
Here's where it gets complicated. Lord Ket wants to save face, but secretly. He calls in me and my mercs. By the time we get here, the slaves have captured some giant industrial drills, and they're getting ready to bring down the whole giant statue. Our best team goes in with explosives to blow up the drills. Slaves kill every last one. Got a pile of credits for anyone who grabs those explosives, hooks them to a giant drill, then fights off slaves until the explosives detonate.
Just when you thought there weren't enough big statues on this planet.